Kevin Smith. The fuck is wrong with you, man? What's happening, my film friends? David the Film Junkie here, bringing you a film review of Tusk! And of course, Tusk comes from the man himself. One of my favorite all-time directors, writer, director, editor, producer, even stars in his movies, Kevin Smith. This movie also stars Mr. Justin Long, Michael Parks, Genesis Rodriguez, Haley Joel Osment. That guy's head grew, but not his face. And of course, Johnny Depp. And basically what happens in Tusk is Justin Long plays this guy named Wallace Brighton, sorry. Yeah. And him and Haley Joel Osment, they have like a podcast. And this is kind of like what Kevin Smith has been doing in real life for like the past, I don't know how many years, you know? He's been doing all kinds of podcasts, so why not write a movie about podcasts? So they have this podcast, pretty popular podcast, and Justin Long's character decides to fly up to Canada, where actually Harley from Epic Mealtime, he's got a little scene in it, and it's pretty hilarious. Anyways, he flies up there to meet up with this one guy who had a viral video. I won't say what happened in the video, but it turns out something, you know, didn't work out by interviewing this guy. So as he's at some bar, he sees like this on a board, he sees like a letter that's written by somebody that apparently had a pretty exciting life. So hey, let's go interview that guy. Of course, he drives over to the guy's house. It's in like pretty much almost the middle of nowhere, forest kind of stuff. So he's talking to the guy, and as he's sipping the tea, yeah, there's something funky in that tea. He passes out, and he wakes up, and just pretty much the worst kind of horror is going to happen, because he finds out that this old guy he's pretty fucked up. And he tells him a story about this walrus that he made friends with a long time ago, and he wants to relive that, so he wants to turn Justin Long into a walrus. And what did I think of Tusk? I thought it was pretty fucking good. Yeah, like I said, Kevin Smith, holy shit, you're pretty fucked up, man, but in a good way. This movie, as I was watching this movie, I was reminded of The Human Centipede, because it had a very similar feel, you know, people who couldn't get out of the situation they were in, you know, it's just some old dude that's holding them captive. Nothing like too crazy of like an idea, but it is horrifying because you find out what this guy wants to do. Michael Parks, man. Michael fucking Parks, okay? There's a reason why Kevin Smith and Quentin Tarantino love this guy, because both of those guys are pioneers of dialogue. I love the dialogue they write in their movies. And Michael Parks can sing their dialogue like it's a fucking song, man. Beautiful, man. He goes on these monologues and just, you know, tells these stories, and he does it so well. And you're creeped out, but you're fascinated by this guy. You really are fascinated by this guy. Now, I'll admit, the opening act, I was kind of a little worried because it didn't impress me that much with the banter between Haley Joel Osment and Justin Long. And I didn't really like Justin Long's character that much at first either, because he was pretty obnoxious and just a douchebag. But then as you meet Michael Parks and it gets in that second act and you start really grasping what's going on, it gets very, very interesting, because like I said, when Michael Parks goes off on his little storytelling, his little monologues and everything like that, it's just like you're so fascinated with this guy. You're like, why is this guy so fucked up, and why does he want to turn him into a fucking walrus? And then once all that process happens, it's pretty disgusting. It's a trip of a movie. And then even Johnny Depp, man, I'm not going to tell you who exactly his character is. I mean, obviously some of you might know he's in it. When he pops up on screen, at first I didn't even know it was him, and he was great. I mean, I totally forgot about Transcendence. He made up for it in this movie. Fantastic. Johnny Depp was fantastic. Michael Parks was fantastic. Everybody did a good job, but like I said, it's just that opening act just kind of was like, it wasn't as, I was hoping for maybe a little more laughs and everything. I'm not saying that this movie's not funny. Like I said, when Harley from Epic Mealtime is on the screen, hilarity. But does it belong on the wall of movies I love of 2014? I'm gonna have to say yes. Yeah, even though I said, you know, that opening act kind of was like, it was a little slow start for me, but like I said, once Michael Parks hit the screen, I was totally engaged and just really fascinated on what the fuck was going to happen. And like, you just, I was trying to figure out, like, where is he going to go with this? And the way that it ends, you're just like, you walk out of the theater just, What? So good job, Kevin Smith. I dig it. Can't wait for the next one because he's gonna make like a little trilogy with like this story, this Canadian story. Can't wait for the next one. Did you see Tusk? Let me know if you did down below in the balls area. Hit that like, thumbs up button if you be so kind. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and visit filmjunkie.com for your latest movie news, movie news, trailers, and film reviews. Well, all right, guys, I'm David, the Film Junkie, and I brought you a film review of Tusk. Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, it's just those kind of movies where where the character is just stuck. I mean, it's not in like a horrific place at first. They're just stuck. Yeah, it was a trip, man. He did a good job though. He did a good job, and I'm gonna have nightmares for a week. It's okay. Talk to you later.